Hello there, welcome. I'm here to talk about Ant-Man. Ant-Man is the last of the Marvel movies until Civil War. So instead is the most recent one. So I've seen this one less than the rest of them. But it's still a solid film. I mean, it was a controversial film before it was released because Edgar Wright had developed it for years. Then he left the project very close to filming, partly due to disputes with Marvel. No one knows exactly what the dispute was. I mean, the rumour is because they wanted links to the rest of the Marvel universe and he didn't, but no one really knows. I mean, that's the rumour, but I'm not sure what the actual truth is. No one really does. But it created this problem where the film was going to be directed with someone people were really excited to see his version of Ant-Man. Suddenly it was gone, and basically the reason people were interested in Ant-Man at all was because he was going to direct it. Suddenly he wasn't directing it and the film was going to come out a year later. So everyone expected the worst. Everyone thought this was going to be Marvel's massive bomb. Everyone thought this was going to be a disaster area. So they brought in Adam McKay to write it with Paul Rudd to do a rewrite. Adam McKay has done Anchorman, Step Brothers, a lot of stuff. He's very good. He recently did The Big Short. He's a very good writer. Paul Rudd was the star of the film. Also has done a lot of films where he's been the co-writer of, especially with David Wayne. So they're experienced. They hired Peyton Reed to direct, and Peyton Reed did a couple of films. So I've seen some of them. They've been decent films. They've always had some style to them. Bring It On's the one where Kirsten Dunst is this cheerleader who's fighting against other cheerleaders. That's a really good film actually, despite the description. It's really fun. But yeah, I mean, he's one of those directors who he tends to do good fun comedies. I mean, he's like one of those underrated solid directors that get ignored because they're not the flashy ones, but they're decent directors, unlike certain directors who make films that are hits but are terrible. He's a solid director who does films that are underrated. So he was brought in, so no one was very excited. It was like, well, let's get through this one and ignore it once it's done. And the film came out and it turned out to be a fun movie. You know, it was as good as it could be under the circumstances. There were some plot holes that were like, oh my god, didn't anyone spot this? And my view is they probably did spot it, but it was too late to change course. Like it had been, like it's sort of like the Thor Dark World where there was, because of the production problems, there were certain bits they couldn't really fix, but they hoped this one they tried to sideline it as much as possible so you didn't think about it. And the film turned out well. I mean, it came after Age of Ultron, which was Age of Ultron was a big bloated film. I liked it a lot, but a lot of people felt it was too much. And this was a smaller film that came out just after it and just got a lot of goodwill because it was a simple heist movie and that's it. That's all it was. It introduced Ant-Man, but it introduced him in a funny way because basically the whole movie everyone's thinking, is he really up to this? Is he really good enough to do this? Because it's about a guy who comes out of prison and he's brought in by Hank Pym, who's the original Ant-Man, to take over and help him steal the Ant-Man technology from his ex-business partners who have taken over his company, because he thinks they're going to sell it to criminals, which he is. So it's all about them doing a heist to get us that technology back and trying to keep, you know, out of his view they're doing this. Hank Pym's daughter Hope is also involved. She wants she's at a problem relationship with her father. She thinks the Paul Rudd character is useless and he shouldn't be doing it, she should be doing it. So there's always there's tension between these three characters, and that's the dynamic of the film, as they try and work out their tension with each other, both try to train Paul Rudd to be Ant-Man. You know, that's the film basically. First half, they train him, second half, the heist. And it just works. I mean, it was well cast, Edgar Wright cast it before he left, and the casting's great. I mean, Michael Douglas, him, probably the best he's been for years, because he's actually got a part that gives him some stuff to do. Angelina Lilly, I've said that wrong, but blah, blah. She's good. Evangeline Lilly. Yeah, she's good. I'm keeping that in because it's so bad. She's good, and then it just Paul Rudd's funny as well. The villain's okay. He does fine, decent actor playing him, but it's not a developed villain. He's a few jealousies, but they don't develop enough in an interaction with the characters to really make him feel like it's someone who you should really invest in. He just feels like a villain who's been underdeveloped. Again, it's a Marvel thing as well. It's not just they don't give people screen time as a villain, it's also they don't have them doing things that are really interestingly villainous, apart from Loki, that make them a villain. It's like they just don't have the imagination to really make the villains unique. And this one suffers from that. Just like, he's fine, but he's not where the interest is in the film. So he does what he does. He becomes the person they have to fight at the end. And he works out fine, but he's not really given that much to do. But the film just works fun as a heist because Paul Rudd's pals come in towards the end also to help them the heist because they need more people. And they're all useless but fun in how useless they are. Paul Rudd's on the run from the police because they think he's a thief, and so he has to deal with that. And they become involved towards the end as well, and that's where some of the plot problems are, because they'll try to find Michael Douglas but they never actually go to his home to actually find him. And that's like, all you have to do is drive to his house. That was a big plot hole. It was like, I think they had the police thing in it, it was already in there and had to do something with it, but I think then it was like they got themselves into a plot problem and never found a way to fix it. But they just try to go as fast as possible so you didn't think about it too much. I didn't even think about that until the second viewing. I was like, what? But that's the movie, so it's got a few of those kind of problems, but it doesn't matter. Ultimately, the film's fun. And the heist's fun. I mean, and all the Ant-Man gangs are great as you see him try to learn, try to get used to being small and large again, trying to find his way around the heist place at the end, because there's lots of, has to go up and down a lot and deal with lots of problems. All that stuff's fun. The fight in his child's bedroom at the end of the villain's great fun. But it's one of those films that just delivers. It's not very deep, but it just delivers exactly what you want from a film called Ant-Man. You know, a guy who's too small, who has to, everything that would not be fine for us suddenly becomes imposing. He has to work through that. He has to deliver this heist. It just works. I mean, it's one of those, just, some films can be silly and just work. And other films that are trying to be serious can just be disasters. It's one of those things where just, it focused on what it had to be, it delivered what it had to be, and that's all you really want. I mean, it's one of those ones where I'm looking forward to the sequel more, really, than watching this one again, is because they did all the setup in this one. So now there's a lot of potential now because I have a bit more time to set up a sequel and deliver something new. They've got all that stuff out of the way. They can hopefully, they're a good team together, so hopefully they can do a lot more with it. Because if you look at a lot of the sequels, apart from Iron Man 2, they tend to get stronger and more interesting because they can do stuff with the characters once they've done the origin story. Like they tend to find like a type of story that fits those characters to push them forward. Marvel tends to be bored by doing the same thing again and again. So I'm hoping this sequel they'll find new things to do with the characters and make them more interesting and push them forward, because that's sort of what Marvel does to develop the characters. And this is a situation where the characters are better than the story. So I hope you enjoyed that.